Hi everyone, I'm Fox, and today I'm talking about Dr. Allison Blake from Eureka, and the pros and cons of this long-running romantic interest character. It's Valentine's Day, or the day after, and what better topic than romance to discuss on this heart-filled holiday? The romantic interest character is a pillar in storytelling. Depending on the story, they can provide direction, support, or spice to the hero's journey. They can play a number of roles, such as deuterogamists supporting cast members or damsels in need of rescuing. Whatever their specific role is, at their core they all have one job: to fall in love, sometimes excruciatingly slowly, with the main character. Now, some people hear the words romantic interest and run screaming, and I don't blame them. These types of characters are frequently manic pixie dream girls, or boys, who exist to be wish fulfillment for the viewer, rather than actually good characters. Their entire world might revolve around the main character, and they sometimes contribute so little that you could remove them from the story entirely, and the only thing that would be lost would be kissing time. And yeah, those romantic interests suck. Allison, however, isn't one of them. Dr. Allison Blake is the genius romantic interest of Sheriff Jack Carter, the everyday cop man from the show Eureka. If you're unfamiliar, Eureka was a sci-fi channel show that premiered in July 2006 and ran for 5 seasons through July 2012, the end of the world. It was about a secret town populated entirely by scientists, and every episode followed a different crazy science incident or crime that had to be solved by Sheriff Carter and friends. It was part of the Sci-Fi Channel Shared Universe, which also included 2 of their other original series, Alphas and Warehouse 13. The show was funny, clever, and knew when it needed to be serious and when to have fun. You may already notice that Allison is a little unusual compared to the other female romantic interests that populated shows of this time period. She's black, she's older, and she's a single mom to her autistic teenage son. She's also the head of Global Dynamics, a secret company that contracts with the government to make cool science things. She's a skilled doctor and biologist. Across 77 episodes, Allison either directly solves or helps to solve a number of the wacky science problems that shake the town. She doesn't lose her agency just because Carter is in the room, and she doesn't become useless and lame once they officially get together. All that being said, spoilers ahead for Sci-Fi Network's Eureka. When we first meet Allison, she serves as the liaison between the Department of Defense and Global Dynamics. Described by her producers as bright and independent, as the show goes on, Allison becomes the director of GD and is the director for much of the show's runtime. Initially, she and Carter are that pair of friends with a lot of chemistry. But, gasp, Allison already has a man in her life. This dude eventually dies. Twice. Allowing Jack and Allison to get together in the meandering fashion one expects of long-running TV shows. In spite of having a white male protagonist, Eureka had a very diverse cast, and the diverse characters weren't just set dressings. Allison was truly allowed to be both black and the show's hot girl, but not in a fetishized or demeaning way. Allison has a lot going for her to make her stand out as a strong woman. For starters, she's safely her own person. She is never seen as a unit in conjunction with Carter or anyone else. She'll have A or B plots dedicated to her that don't have anything to do with Carter, Nathan, or anyone else. She has 2 PhDs, but so does just about everyone else in Eureka. So while it's remarkable and highlights her achievement and intelligence to the audience, it also doesn't exist to make her a better than everyone else Mary Sue compared to the rest of the cast. She also treats every man Carter as an equal, recognizing that while he doesn't have 2 PhDs, he has other skills. As the director of Global Dynamics, we regularly see her juggling top-secret projects, complicated military contracts, and outwitting the odd, evil government agent. She's also a single mom. But don't worry, the father isn't dragged in for any unnecessary drama, or to make low blows at black men. No, he died a long time ago. Instead, her being a single mom is meant to give her something in common with Carter, who's a single dad. But it's deeper than that. Allison's son, Kevin, is autistic. Probably level 2, although we can't confirm that. When the show was written, the verbiage around autism was different. Some of the choices made with Kevin's character probably wouldn't be made today. That said, there are some remarkable steps in autism representation, and in how Allison is portrayed as a mother to an autistic child. Allison loves Kevin unconditionally. She out and out states that she doesn't want to cure his autism. She just wants to better connect to and understand him. So many people on the autism spectrum have grown up watching their parents wish for cures, or wish that they could change their child, rather than just loving them for who they are. While describing their personal experiences as an autistic child watching the show, AbLib1994 posted to Reddit saying, "My mom doesn't listen to me at all, and refused to entertain the idea I think differently. This TV mom doesn't want to cure her autistic son, she just wants to know how he works, so she can be a better mom for him." And that says a lot about the important role Allison plays. That said, there is some ugly. In Season 4, following a time travel adventure, the main cast lands themselves in an alternative timeline where a lot of things are different. One guy finds out he's married. The comic relief character is now the director of GD instead of Allison. And Kevin is now neurotypical. From a writing standpoint, it makes sense. It stirs up the pot for Allison's character, who suddenly is a very different son from the one she knows. But from a representation standpoint, it's pretty shaky. An easy criticism that could be made against Allison is her hair. Especially more recently, there has been a greater demand for black characters to be portrayed with their natural curly textured hair. This is because many real-life black people were only straightening their hair in order to reflect white beauty standards, rather than accepting their own natural beauty. Allison obviously wears her hair straight, which might make her seem more acceptable to be the romantic interest to a white man. In some cases, yeah, I'd agree with this argument. Except in this case, I think it's pretty clear that they were styling Allison after a real-life woman, Michelle Obama, the original fashion-forward, intelligent, affluent African-American woman with highly styled hair, who everyone loved at the time. Then there's the other consequence of the alternate universe situation, which was Allison losing her position as the director of GD and instead becoming the medical director. On one hand, this was a loss in power. On the other hand, it allowed her to be on the field more often as she directly patched people up again after mad science experiments. It also gave us the absolute hilarious glory that is Director Fargo. Honestly, it's been a really crazy week for both me and Swift, from finding a lost cat to crazy times at work, and we have done so much to still get this video out for you guys, and we're so sorry that it's a little bit less than what we wanted to give. We could really go into so many more details and say so much more about Eureka, but right now the best we can do is recommend that you just go and you watch Eureka yourself. It's one of our favorite shows. We have so many fond memories of it, and we would love for you to see Allison yourself. Overall, Allison is an inspiring example of how to write a romantic interest. There's always going to be a need for romantic interest characters of every gender, so in the interest of covering every type of woman, I'm glad to have found one that's worth talking about. Allison and Jack make a great couple, and they're fun to root for. For a formulaic and predictable show, Eureka ends up being a lot of fun, all the way through to the end. It may pick up a few flaws of a long-running television show, but that's okay. It really doesn't have to be a masterpiece to do something big. So what do you think? Is there a romantic interest who you think is awesome? Who would you like to hear us talk about next? We look forward to continuing to share with you a year of strong women. Next week will be the third woman in our celebration of Black History Month. And let's just say that this one is really stellar. If you liked what you saw and want to see more, consider buying us a Ko-fi with the link below. And be sure to let us know by commenting, and subscribing. We super appreciate it. See you next time. Happy Valentine's Day, and thanks for watching.